4. This is News 4 at 6.
Local attorney who is HIV positive is suing his former boss for $10 million. His boss is the American Bar Association. Jim Hanley reports on a story that might sound familiar.
No. Would it make you more comfortable?
The film Philadelphia, the similarities, he says, are sad.
Because the movie was so popular, I think that's why I thought this could never happen at the AVA.
What kind of chord did it strike when you saw the movie?
A very sad one.
Larry Ray, an attorney working for the ABA, is fired a year after he reveals to his bosses he's HIV positive.
His attitude changed towards me and became a very conflictual, complaining one. So again, almost anything I did or my supervisees did, he complained about, even though my work remained the same.
Ray had worked for the ABA for 16 years.
During the first 15 years, I was promoted 3 times, and each year I would receive a merit increase.
All of a sudden it was necessary to put him on probation.
His attorney sees similarities to David and Goliath.
So it is somewhat of a true David and Goliath situation, but we're confident that we'll prevail in the end of it all. They can paper us to death, but we will prevail.
For its part, the ABA released this statement saying it absolutely opposes discrimination against all persons with disabilities, including HIV and AIDS. Larry Ray's HIV status had nothing to do with his termination. As for his health, Ray says he's fit to work again and he needs the money.
I lost my life insurance. I lost access to disability benefits.
In Washington, Jim Hadley, News 4.
Ray's health insurance runs out in less than a year. His attorney said they tried for months to negotiate a settlement, but with no success.
An HIV-positive attorney is suing his employer for discrimination after being fired, and it's no movie plot. Cliff Webb has details now in the Rush Hour District Report. Cliff?
Male 43-year-old Larry Ray has filed a $10 million lawsuit against the American Bar Association, claiming he was fired because he has the virus that causes AIDS. Now, Ray has been an ABA employee for 16 years. He says he was notified of his dismissal back in September and told he had performance problems. Problems, that is, that Ray says he was never notified of. The ABA has declined comment on the case. By the way, Ray's specialty at the Bar Association is alternative dispute resolution, which basically tries to deal with legal problems without resorting to lawsuits.
An HIV-positive attorney is suing his employer for discrimination after being fired. It sounds like it's right out of the movie Philadelphia, but it's real life. 43-year-old Larry Ray has filed a $10 million lawsuit against the American Bar Association, claiming he was fired because he has the virus that causes AIDS. Ray has been an ABA employee for 16 years. He says he was notified of his dismissal in September and told that he had performance problems. Problem, says Ray, says he was never notified of. The ABA has declined comment on the case. By the way, Ray's specialty at the Bar Association is alternative dispute resolution, which tries to deal with legal problems without resorting to lawsuits.
Now, from WJLA-TV, this is News 7 at 5.
The American Bar Association is facing a $16 million lawsuit tonight. One of its former employees, who is a lawyer, claims he was fired because he is HIV positive. News 7's Sonia Diener has our story.
I enjoyed my job.
In his 16 years with the American Bar Association, Larry Ray received numerous awards and merit increases, but his career ended suddenly in September when senior management fired him.
And they got up and walked out. I was escorted to my office to pack my bags, and I was escorted out of the building.
How long did this meeting last?
About 16 seconds.
And you were told there were performance problems?
Yes.
Did they elaborate on that?
No.
Ray tested HIV positive in February 1990. He says despite no significant health problems, he told his supervisor in July of '94.
And his attitude changed. And he continually was telling me that either my work or my supervisee's work was not up to par, whereas my work had remained consistent.
Ray is now unemployed and suing the ABA for $16 million for wrongful termination. The ABA says Ray's HIV status had nothing to do with his termination.
Am I being fired?
Ray's case is similar to the movie Philadelphia, the story of an attorney fighting AIDS and sexual discrimination.
These days, people don't come right out and say, "You faggot." You really need to read between the lines.
Larry Ray says he doesn't relish going public with his personal life or health condition, but says the ABA left him no choice. He says if he had to do it all over again, he would never have told his employer he was HIV positive. In the district, Sonia Diener, News 7.
This afternoon, the American Bar Association told Sonia that they won't discuss the specifics of this case, but they say they oppose discrimination against all persons with disabilities, including HIV and AIDS.
Watching NBC4. This is News 4 at 11.
More to come here tonight. He says it's a lot like the movie Philadelphia. We'll tell you about a local lawyer who is HIV positive and suing his former boss.
Sounds a lot like the movie Philadelphia. A lawyer fired a year after revealing he's HIV positive. Now that issue is headed to court. Larry Ray worked for the American Bar Association in Washington for 16 years. He says a year after he told his bosses he had the AIDS virus, he lost his job. Now he's suing the ABA for $10 million.
His attitude changed towards me and became a very conflictual, complaining one. So again, almost anything I did or my supervisees did, he complained about, even though my work remained the same.
The ABA says Ray's HIV status had nothing to do with his termination. It says the organization opposes discrimination against all persons with disabilities, including HIV and AIDS. Ray says he's still fit to work and he needs the money. His health insurance is scheduled to run out in less than a year.